All right. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. For those of you who I haven't met before, my name is Erin O'Brien. I am a Thermix consultant based in Druin in Victoria. I work predominantly virtually. I have a young family. I have five young kids, so it can get a bit difficult to get out of the house for demos and try and find more hours in the day. So I'm very lucky that I can kind of run my business virtually when the kids have gone to bed. So I have introduced this new kind of idea, I suppose, to my business that we are kicking off tonight, and that is the mixing hour. So the idea is pretty simple: is that every Monday night we'll jump on Zoom, we'll cook a dish or two, maybe even three, depending on what they are, and just share some new hints, tips, recipes, ideas, really just to help you guys get the most out of your Thermomix. That is something that I am super passionate about. We all know that Thermomix is an investment, and it's an investment that we want to get as much out of us as possible. So that's a bit about why I have started the mixing hour off. And this week we are kicking off with a couple of recipes for just a really easy weeknight dinner and a really easy and quick and delicious winter dessert. So we're going to do a lemon pepper chicken with zoodles, and we're also going to do a lemon delicious pudding. So yeah, both lemon recipes, but I think you'll love them both. So we're going to get straight into cooking tonight. Just going to go over to my other screen. Um, so actually, I need to get out of that. We're all ready to go. So obviously, this is our TM7 that we are cooking with tonight. I'd love you to pop in the chat box as we're getting cooking. Let me know where you're watching from tonight, and maybe what model Thermomix you've got and how long you've had it for. Pop in the chat box and let me know. So yes, like I said, we are cooking with our TM7. Our TM7 has been around for just over 12 months now, with a few new additions coming along the way. One of the things we love about our smart technology is that it just keeps getting better and better. And those of you who might have had one since it first got released will understand that we have already seen a few updates. But yes, I have plugged into the recipes we are cooking tonight. You'll be able to see our home screen is customizable, and I have I'm a real meal planner. Like I said before, I've got five young kids. Life's very busy, so I need to be organized all the time. So I like having the planned recipe as my home screen, and you'll see there the two recipes that we are going to cook. So we're going to get straight into it, and we're going to start with the lemon delicious cooking. I like getting the dessert on first because this is one that, a few minutes of preparation time. It's in the oven and it will be cooking while we're cooking dinner and ready to go. Has anyone made this one before? It is delicious. So like always, we could scroll down, read the recipe if we wanted to. Otherwise, we're just going to hit start cooking. This recipe, according to the recipe page, actually feeds eight, but you can double it as well. If you've got a nice big container you're cooking in, it doubles perfectly in the bowl. I recently made it for a family get together, preheating the oven to 170 and getting our cast iron pot sorted. So I made it for a family get together and doubled it, and it was perfect. Cooked perfectly, worked perfectly, no problems at all. So into our bowl, we're going to get started and do the kind of the batter of the cake, of the pudding first. We're going to put 200 grams of caster sugar.
Yep. Well, I can.
And I did forget to say before we get started, if you have any questions at all, I want these sessions to be really relaxed, really, I really want to make sure you guys get as much out as possible. So any questions at all as we're going, please just don't hesitate to pop them in the chat box and I'll answer them as we're going. So into there now, we're going to put the peel of two lemons, which I've done before we got started. And then we're going to hit next and we're going to mill those together. So we've got 10 seconds on speed 10. Zoom will mute me out for this. I mean, quick little read of the chat box. You've all got TM7s now. I love that. And I love that you guys have upgraded as well. You know, you've had the previous model and obviously, I'm sure loved it. And what are you thinking of the differences between the 31 or the 6 and the TM7? So there we go. That's our lemon sugar there. Filled up beautifully. And we're just going to pop that in a bowl and set it aside. So I'm going to cheat a little bit and for the benefit of the camera, pop my bowl on there. You can pop a bowl or a plate on the top like this and use your scales as well at any stage. So if you're doing something that doesn't involve cooking or you're doing a bit of prep and you want to measure, sorry, it doesn't involve cooking, doesn't involve your Thermomix, you know, you're weighing out something else or yeah, you're prepping, you can just pop a plate or a bowl on the top like this and use your scales too. I'm very carrying on that open cooking and the thickening ones. Yeah, the open cooking, I still find it bizarre. It's hard to get used to when you've owned a Thermomix for a long time, isn't it? It just doesn't feel right, but we love it too. Butter. Somehow I managed to forget to get that one out. I know I have a few different customers. I know a few people that are gluten free that find the open cooking amazing, just to be able to keep that bit closer of an eye on things as they're cooking away as well. Right, so into there we're going to put 120 grams of unsalted butter. Oh, I just love to read that you guys are loving this oven. Not gonna lie, I'm the kind of person that really needs to be convinced to upgrade or do something like that. I had a TM5 and I had it for years. And it was actually my husband that said to me, "Do you want to upgrade?" I'll keep talking as I put this on. So 2 minutes, 80 degrees speed two. My husband said to me, "Do you want to upgrade?" Because I loved it and I used it so much. And I said, "No, no, like, oh, the TM7, the TM5's great. I don't need to upgrade." And then I started researching it, and I was like, "Oh," and this was just the six at the time, obviously. Started researching the TN6, and I'm like, oh, geez, well, that does look a lot better." And then I finally bit the bullet and did it, and I could not believe the differences. And then the same when the TN7 came out. I was a consultant then, so it was a little bit different. But I was like, oh, could it really be that much better? And I think yeah, you guys will agree. Yeah, it's so much more user friendly as well. Super, super easy to use now. So that is just melting the butter down for us. You see here, so we've got the time set. The padlock above the bowl there just shows you whether the bowl is locked or not. So speed two and below, the locking mechanism isn't actually activated in your bowl. So at any stage, if you're below speed two or below and the padlock is unlocked, you can actually just lift your lid off. The blades will automatically stop, and you could add more, check it, add seasoning depending on what you were doing, that kind of thing. As soon as you pop your lid back on, it will restart again for you. So if you're above speed two, you'll see that the padlock there icon is locked. So you do have to just pause it before opening it, just as a safety feature. Mister, has anyone made the lemon delicious pudding before? We've had it a couple of times now. Or do you have a different pudding, or maybe a self-saucing pudding or something you like to make in the cooler months? I feel like a pudding. There's a beautiful caramel self-saucing pudding that I love that's from the recipe community as well. They're real winter desserts, I think. A pudding. All right. And into there now, we are going to put 250 grams of milk. One of my other favorite features that I think you guys will understand that I didn't even realize was that great at the start was the automatic tearing of the scales when the lid comes off. So one of those features that we didn't know we needed. Um, but once we've had one of the previous model Thermomixes and have to tear it every time. Two eggs, two eggs, and
And
250 grams of self-raising flour. And then just 2 pinches of salt. We're going to pop the lemon sugar that we made at the start back in now. I have to come over the other side to do that. And then we're just combining that one on 5 seconds on speed of 4. So you can see there, our butter's nearly done. I'm just going to give it a quick scrape down, just making sure that we're getting all that butter slicked up around the sides. And then just giving it one more quick mix. So just another 3 seconds for that. Yeah. We're going to pop that into the cast iron pot and set it aside. Okay. I'm just going to do the same, put my pot on the top. So this is one of the fairer cast iron pots. You can get these from the mix shop. They're also available as part of our current host reward collection too, all of the fairer cast iron collection. And they're all amazing, I have to say. I think you'll all agree if you've got anything from the mix shop, the quality is incredible. But I love that we've got some host rewards at the moment that are a bit different from just the normal Thermomix accessory or like actual Thermomix accessories. All right. We're just going to pop that aside for the couple of minutes now. I'll pop our bowl back on. Now it does tell us to clean and dry the mixing bowl. I don't bother with this recipe. Like I said a few times, I like quick and easy. And obviously a tiny little batter in our sauce. It's all going to end up together in the bowl anyway. So I never wash it and I don't find that it makes a big deal. So now we're going to add in 500 grams of milk. The bottle out. Perfect. That will do. Next. And then we're just going to give that a quick heat first. So 3 minutes and 60 degrees on speed 1. Yeah, so we're just warming up that milk. We'll keep an eye on the active temperature here because you know how I said before, like, above the time there is the active temperature of the bowl because we just want to heat this milk to the 60 degrees. There's a chance that that will happen before the 3 minutes and then we can just stop it and continue on. But yes, I don't, I choose to skip out me cleaning the bowl whenever I can. I am lucky enough to have multiple bowls, but even still, we still don't need any extra dishes, do we? What was on the menu at your houses tonight for dinner or this week? What have you got planned? Let me know in the chat box. I think we had fajitas for dinner tonight, the beef fajitas from Cookie Doo. I'm not sure if anyone's tried that one before. It's always a favorite. Our kids love it as well. Always a favorite here. And then we'll be having this chicken, lemon pepper chicken for dinner tomorrow night. So that's nice and easy. Dinner's
Ice cream?
prepped and ready. Oh, okay, that sounds
Does it
nice.
matter?
That's not one I've made before.
Does it matter?
Very, very much soup weather at the moment too, isn't it? I mean, we usually stick to the standard pumpkin soup in our house. Oh no, Rose. Don't really want, yeah, I could imagine the wouldn't be feeling up to cooking or eating, I'm sure. Oh, look, everyone's enjoying soup. Thai chicken coconut soup. I have to try that one too. 30 minutes. That sounds like my kind of meal too. Quick and easy. The other one we like, the other really quick one is the hug in a mug. I'm sure you guys have made that before. That's a really standard Thermomix owner one too that's nice and quick and easy. But the Thai chicken coconut sounds delicious. We've very much got some perfect soup weather here in Victoria at the moment. That's the only good thing that it's got going for it, I think. These cold, wintry days. All right, we've got about 30 seconds left on that. So obviously you can scroll down as well and have a read. If you were making this at home, you can use that this time to get out your next few ingredients to speed things up a little bit for you. Make sure you get your caster sugar and all those things out. But I am prepped and ready. All right. So there, let's take the lid off there. Again, our scales have automatically taken, so we're going to add in some more caster sugar. And a tablespoon of corn flour too. Get a tablespoon out in my drawers below the camera, so I'm just going to do a couple of teaspoons instead. And then about 200 grams of lemon juice. So my lemons were tiny that I peeled, so I don't have a lot of fresh lemon juice. So I'm just going to tip what I've got in, and then I'll just top it up with the lemon juice. Pop the lid on and give me that a quick mix. All right, so that is that done as well. That's the sauce component done. So we're just going to bring back our pot with the butter in it. And then we're just going to gently pour the sauce over the top of that. So what we're just going to do is we're just going to use our spatula. It says the back of a spoon, but the spatula works just fine, especially when it's already dirty. Again, all about creating those dishes. So hopefully you can see what I'm doing all right there. So I'm just using that just to pour it in over the top so it doesn't fully disturb the batter too much. And that's it. So then we are just going to pop that in the oven. In now. And we'll come back at the end when it's done. Okay. So again, like normal, we could continue on and finish the recipe if we wanted to. It's just going to walk us through those last couple of steps. So, removing it, setting aside for a few minutes, and then dusting it with icing sugar before serving. But instead of going next all the way down, if we pull down from the top of the screen, we open our cooking center, And I can just press the cross there, and then that will end the recipe that we were doing. We're in the middle of. So we're going to go back to our home screen. And now we're going to start our main, our lemon pepper chicken with zoodles. Has anyone made this one before? So this one actually uses the cutter and the spiralizer. I'm not sure if any of you guys have one of those at the moment. So I'm just reading, catching up. Oh yeah, those muffins do sound good. Um, Not sure whether you ladies have a cutter, but it is absolutely get around with this recipe. You can, I'll show you as we're talking. But the recipe itself uses the cutter, but you can, if you don't have one at the moment, you can still certainly do it without it. But I will walk you through it in full with the cutter to start with. So lemon pepper chicken like normal. Scroll down if you want to, but we'll just get started. So it's going to start by telling us to place a bowl on the top of the mixing bowl lid. And this is just to weigh out your zucchinis. So you literally would just pop it on and then just weigh out however many zucchinis you're doing. I'm only going to do a little bit tonight because obviously we're not eating it all tonight. And full transparency, my kids will not eat zoodles. So I will just cook some rice for them to go with this tomorrow night. So I'm not going to do the full, I think it's 600 grams of zucchini for this. So I'm just going to go next, yeah. So that's a 600 to put into the bowl and then set it aside. And now we're going to prep our cutter. So you would have noticed on our TM7, we have a few different tutorial videos that you can watch along the way. And this is just how to assemble the cutter. So we're just going to start by putting the shaft in first. Putting the bowl in. And then, because we're using the cutter, the spiralizer and not the actual cutter, I'm going to take the cutter blade off, pop that aside. And then we're going to put the spiralizer in. The rest of the video shows to do it the other way, but I find it easier myself to line up if I put the spiralizer onto the lid and then on like that. Just bring the camera back a smidge for this. All right, just going to play with that for 2 seconds. All right, lost my train of thought now. So I've got that all assembled, and now it's just telling us to put the lid on, which we've done, insert the pusher. So because we're using the spiralizer and not the cutter, we just take out the off the extra piece of the pusher so that we have the spikes for the spiralizer on the bottom of it. So we're just going to spiralize our zucchini. So this is going to be super quick because I'm only doing the 2 tonight. So we're literally just going to pop them in the top and spike them with our, so you can see that, spike them with our pusher. I'm going to press play. And it's already set for us. So it's got 20 seconds and it's got the thick spiralizing on it. And that's it. You do get your little middle of your zucchini back. Uh, there are spiralized zucchinis. So it's that quick and easy to do then. This is obviously the 2 of them there. You'd have a lot more if you'd done the full 600 grams. But again, it's just like anything, you can adjust it to what your family would, how much you guys would eat as well. So it's just telling us to transfer the zucchini into the varoma dish, which I have got here as well. I'm just going to put them on there. again, it would have a lot more if you're doing the full recipe. It's going to be sufficient. And then give it a season with half a teaspoon of salt and then pop it aside. The other thing I love about the cutter is that when you're using it and you're finished, your Thermomix bowl is still clean and ready to use the next step. So just remember to take your shaft out so you're not chopping that up. And then we can continue on with the recipe. Just put you a bit closer again, sorry.
You get a hole in one.
No chicken.
So now it's just telling us to place the bowl on top of the mixing bowl lid and weigh in 600 grams of chicken fillets, which I have already cut and measured them out. And into that bowl, we're going to put half a teaspoon of salt, some pepper, and a tablespoon of flour. And then we're going to give that a coat and set it aside. So the cutter, if you don't already have one, is available as a host reward at the moment as well. And our host reward, host rewards are tierless at the moment too, which means that if you host a demo, whether it be virtual or in person, with 2 or more guests that come, irrelevant of whether somebody purchases a Thermomix or not, you still get the same discounted price. So at the moment, if you host a demo, you can grab a cutter for $60 for a TM6 or a TM7. So that's super, super good value. Now, my parsley is outside in the rain. I didn't want to go out and get it. So I'm just going to throw in some dried parsley afterwards, cheat a little bit there. It's too cold outside. I should have got it earlier. So that would just chop your fresh parsley and set it aside. We're going to skip past that tonight. And into there now we are going to put 50 grams of Parmesan cheese. So I'll popping that straight in. And then the peel of a lemon as well. I'm going to break those down again. So Zoom will mute me out again for this because the Parmesan is so noisy. And then we're just going to transfer that to a bowl and set it aside. So you'll see that grated Parmesan and lemon peel. Put it back in that little bowl. Did you notice a big difference in the noise and the sound from the TM6 to the TM7 or either of the other models? I did a demo recently, and that was the first thing that was actually my customer's daughter that had a TM6 noticed. She was blown away by the difference. Yeah, the cutter does include the spiralizer, so it's called a Cutter Plus bundle, but it has the cutter and spiralizer. So we're putting in 25 grams of olive oil, 2 garlic cloves, definitely 2 that you could see there, not 3, and 150 grams of leek. And then half a teaspoon of paprika. And the lid back on again. Next, we're giving that a really quick chop, 3 seconds on speed fire.
We just get them emailed to us or
Yeah.
I'm just having another read of the chat box. Yeah, I can't even tell you how many times when I first got it, I thought that I hadn't started the TM7. Like I'd be, I've done a bit of cooking and then be doing something in the kitchen. I thought, oh no, I haven't just started on that. But I had, it just hadn't realized because it was so quiet. All right, so we're just going to give that a saute now, 5 minutes on 120 degrees. But yeah, and even with close nose, you can see that, isn't that interesting? I mean, my kids are pretty heavy sleepers at the best of times, but I can do anything when they're in bed now, with the noise difference. Even like, I mean, I think now that we're a bit more used to it, I think that the Parmesan is still loud, but in comparison to what it was like in the previous models, it's not at all, is it? So tell me, what's your favorite recipes at the moment? What's your favorite go-to weeknight recipe? Share with us all so that we can get some new inspiration. I we've obviously again young kids been really busy with winter sports at the moment, so a lot of the things I've been making are cook ahead meals that we can have when we get home. So I'm always asked after new ideas for that if you guys have got anything. Done all the usual bakes and things like that. Even something like this recipe, like I said before, I serve it with, I love the zoodles. It's beautiful with the zoodles, but I serve it with rice for the kids. So I can make the chicken mixture ahead of time and then just cook a little bit of rice as well. And the other thing I was going to say, sorry, if you don't yet have a cutter, you can just use a peeler and just kind of peel off thin strips of your zucchini. And that works perfectly fine too. As long as they're nice and thin, they'll still cook in your aroma in the time allowed. So yeah, that is another option for you if you don't have a cutter spiralizer at the moment. Oh yes, the creamy tomato and salami fettuccine is always a winner too, isn't it? So quick, so easy. And a throw it all in meal. We all love those. Hidden veg, perfect. Oh, mac and cheese. That's a good one too. Do you do any hidden veg like any veggies in yours or just a standard mac and cheese? Something I think I did actually make one recently because we had I was looking after someone else's kid that was a little bit more fussy. So I thought I'd just make a cheesy pasta. It's not something I do often, but the kids loved it, so I think I'll have to do it more often. Yeah, curries, yes. Spaghetti, yeah. All these wintry meals. What about the slow cooking mode? Does anyone use that on the TM7 or on the TM6? I think it's one that's getting underutilized a little bit, so I feel like I might have to share a few more of the slow cooking recipes. Let's try soup and sauces. Yeah, I try and challenge myself to try one new recipe every week, one new meal recipe. That's what I like to do just with anything. It's like to step out of my comfort zone once a week and try something new that, may go onto our regular rotation or it might not, depending on how it goes down. That kind of pushes me to try different things. So without going too much, I think if you say, oh, I'm going to do all new recipes this week, it's not really achievable. So that is what I like to do, one new recipe every week. And I think you guys have given me a few new ones to try, to add to that to try folder over the next week. This leaf mixture is smelling delicious. Chat box is not my friend tonight. Keeps moving away from me. Yeah, that's Yes, the lemon butter chicken is another favorite here too. We like to add risotto to ours. Have you done that or added anything in with the sauce? Make a little, I increase the sauce volume and then add risotto to the dish when I'm cooking it. Oh, corn silver side. We haven't had silver side in a while. And it's again, everyone loves it here, so that's another one. Yeah, lots of ideas here. All right, we've got about 5 seconds left on that, and then we'll keep moving. Hope you're all getting new ideas as well from each other as we're going. There's lots of good ideas there in the chat box tonight. So now we're going to add in those chicken strips that we coated before. So just when you're adding them in, just try and make sure you kind of spread them around your bowl a little bit because they tend to clump together. So just so they cook nice and evenly. If they do kind of fall in all at once, just use your spatula to spread them around a little bit. And then we're going to add in 40 grams of lemon juice. That parsley that I didn't get from the garden. So I'm just going to add in a bit of dried parsley instead. I mean, it would be lovely with fresh, but the weather's not my friend tonight. And then 100 grams of water. And it says a teaspoon of chicken stock paste. So I just use vegetable stock paste for everything. Um, I don't. I know a lot of people do and swear by it, making chicken stock paste, but I just use the vegetable stock paste for everything. So that's just that cookie dough veggie stock paste. Something in there, a teaspoon of that. And then we're just going to cook that down. So 10 minutes on 100 degrees, reverse, feed soft. I'll just have a little read. One of your favorite recipes to make for Bring a Dish Night from the recipe community, and it was Sally's satay chicken. Do you know what? I've seen that, and I think I have it marked in my recipe community to try folder for the last, I don't even know how many years, a lot of years, and I've still never made it. So maybe I need to give that a go. I feel like that is one of the most popular recipes on the recipe community. It's always in the top rated. So there you go. I do need to try that too, obviously, Ruth. Do you guys use the recipe community a lot? It is one of my favorites. Again, oh, there you go, huge amount too. Well, that's perfect for me and my family. All right, I'm adding that. That might be, keep an eye on it. That might be my to try my new recipe of the week. I was gonna say, oh, the recipe community. When I had my TM5, I didn't have a cook key or anything with it, so I did all manual cooking back in that time, and I loved the recipe community. I've still got lots and lots of favorite recipes from there, and a few of my own on there too. Have you added any of your own recipes, any of you guys, to the recipe community? I love the recipe community in that you can add comments or read reviews and stuff. I feel like that's the one thing that Cookie Do really misses is the ability to add comments when you rate a recipe. Because sometimes it's just the smallest things that can be altered that make a big difference. All right, does anyone have any questions or anything so far? Pop in the chat box and let me know if you do. Because there's not a lot of cooking left tonight. A few extra steps and then we'll be done. Oh, I do love a satay. There's a really nice what is it? It's a little bit different. It's not a normal satay, but the Thai peanut chicken on Cookie Do. If you haven't made that one, give it a go. That's one of my favorite Cookie Do recipes, actually, I reckon. It's the flavors are amazing. It's almost like you would be forgiven for thinking it's takeaway, I think. All right. Any questions at all? Any questions about the TM7 in general that you guys have come up in your cooking or perhaps cookie do questions? Anything that you want me to run through while you've got me here, I'm more than happy. Like I said, at the moment, if you are interested, I know that you guys are all connected with consultants, so please reach out to them and they'll help you with a demo. But we've got the Cutter Host Reward for TM6, TM7. We've got the full Fira range. Our thermo servers are included and our brand new bread mat as well. So I will send through an email after tonight's virtual with all the recipes included, and I'll add on the current Host Reward catalogue so you can have a little look. But like I said, they're all tierless at the moment, so it doesn't matter. So we've got a couple of pit friends that can come along, watch along. It doesn't. They don't have to buy Thermomix for you to get a really great discount on it, which is even better, I think. I'm going to check on our pudding quickly. And that Thermomix is like silent at the moment. I can't even hear it running at all. It's looking good too. So tell me, like I said, these mixing hours are going to be running every Monday. I would love to know what you guys would like from them. So pop in the chat box. You could send me a message or an email afterwards. If you know you have some ideas that pop up, please reach out and let me know. It's really important to me that you guys get as much out of them as possible. So if you have ideas or things you want to see more about or learn more about, yeah, please pop it in the chat box or email me, message me at any stage and let me know because I have some ideas, but I'm very open to anything that you guys want to see and learn more about. Karen, our recipe or the recipe that I love is it's called I think it's Thai peanut chicken. Let me just I'll use Cookie Dough and find it. Yeah, Thai peanut chicken with coconut rice. It is delicious. I chop and change the veggies around in it as well. I think I'm sure you guys know that Cookie Do guided cooking is amazing, but always remember it's just a guide. So whatever you want to change it around. So I usually just throw in whatever veggies we've got in the cupboard. So sometimes it's carrots, capsicum, bit of broccoli. It just calls for snow peas, I think it is, and baby corn or sugar snap peas and fresh baby sweet corn. But yeah, I just literally whatever we've got goes in there and everyone loves it. But you can also adjust the serving size. So I can't remember who it was that was on there before on the chat box. If you're only cooking for one, you can decrease it all the way down to a serving size of two, and then you've got just dinner for tonight and tomorrow night, or four or six for bigger families as well. So that is one of those newer features of Cookie Do that I think is a bit of a game changer for all the different sized families. Obviously, I usually bulk things out. I'm the opposite, to create as big a meal as possible. But I find, yeah, that it's perfect. It feeds us beautifully with sometimes a couple of little changes. But yeah, the ability to scale down a recipe as well is really helpful. One thing I've been talking to a few different people about lately, and I'd love to know how you use it, is bookmarks. How are you guys using your bookmarks on Cookie Do? So I have bookmarks myself on my Cookie Do set up as recipes that I use quite frequently, recipes that I use all the time that are, quick and easy to find there. So like the kids love these chocolate chip cookies. The bread is one that I use all the time. This is my go-to breakfast at the moment. Not so much at the moment, but in summer when we're using our pizza oven outside, I use the pizza dough. The brownie is I'm a nurse in my other life. So the brownie isn't my go-to night duty treat to take a plate and share. So that's on there as well. But I know everyone uses bookmarks quite differently. So let me know how you use bookmarks or do you use them, do you not use them? Yeah, I kind of have it as a bit of a quick find of those favorite recipes. I know everybody has cookie dough set up very differently, which is one of the bonuses of it as well, isn't it? That you never, you can set it to suit yourself. I'm just going to get prepped just to get this pudding out of the oven in a second. Um, my husband's looking forward to dessert. He's hanging around. There you go. So don't use bookmarks. Interesting. And yeah, Rose, you put, yeah, see, I have a to try folder as well in my cookie do, in my, where is it, my recipe lists. I have lots of different recipe lists of all the different things that um, I make. But yeah, I have a very large to try folder. There's down the bottom 259 recipes in there. So when I'm browsing cookie do or I see somebody else maybe on social media that's made something that looks really nice, or those couple of recipes you guys have shared tonight will be going in there. So I add them to my to try folder. And then when I'm doing my meal planning for the week, I always have a bit of a squiz in there and try and add at least one recipe um, into the week. So yeah, I love the idea of a two try folder. And then yeah, exactly. Once it's approved, family approved meals, I call them here. I've got a lot of people to keep happy. Once everybody likes it or majority like it, then I put it into our other folders. So I've got like, make ahead for sports nights, but then just our main meals, one pot meals. You can literally set up your collections to anything and everything you want to. So our cook time, I don't know if you can see it clearly there. I don't think you can see it under my handle, but the cook time is up the top there. There's a little banner that says 19 seconds. So I'm just going to tap that. It will take us back to where we were in the recipe. And then I think we've just got a couple of things to add in and then give it one last little cook. So we're going to put 250 grams of cream. And a bit of salt and pepper as well. With my pepper. That's okay. I'm just going to give it a little bit of a mix just to separate all that chicken a little bit too. And then we're just going to put in about half of that grated parmesan mixture. I'm going to put the lid back on and then pop the varoma on the top. So we're just going to take off the cap. And move it back out again, sorry. And then we're just going to give that one more cook for 5 minutes. So I'm going to pause while I do this, but I'm just going to move it back for a second. And then we're going to grab our pudding out. So what, between these two dishes, my house smells amazing right now. I'm not leave it nearly done, but just not quite. So we'll give it the 5 minutes and then we'll finish up and plate up. And that's it. So I'm sure you can see, like obviously we've done a lot of talking tonight. We've made the two dinners, but each dinner itself is very little. I mean, sorry, actually, each dinner, one's a dessert. The dinner, the meal, and then the dessert, very little hands-on time to get them up and cooking. And then just, they're free to do all the other things. So you can fold the washing, have a glass of wine, prep something else, clean up, sit down, read the paper, whatever you like to do, but your hands free to do it. And that's what we need, I think. Oh, I didn't press play on that again. So one of the I'm not sure if you guys have noticed one of the safety updates of the TM7. So obviously we're getting new updates and modes and features all the time. But a recent safety update actually, when you move it during cooking, it pauses. So we have got that glider foot that we can safely move our TM7 around the bench on. But if we do move it during cooking, the cooking will automatically pause and you just need to finish moving and then press play to restart again, which is super easy. So again, we can just scroll down and read the last couple of steps so that we're prepared, but it's just telling us to set the varoma aside, pop our zucchini noodles in our bowls, and then top with the chicken sauce and add the extra parmesan on the top. So yeah, it's a really, really easy one. Again, like I said, the kids will have rice with it. If you don't have the cutter, just use your peel, like use a peeler to kind of slice some strips of zucchini and then throw them in the varoma. That will work perfectly as well. Okay. I also forgot to get a couple of spoons out, so try and quickly grab them without knocking the camera. Always managed to forget something. Be back. Sorry. All right, wrap out that forward. And there is our, how good does that look? Lemon self-saucing pudding. So ideally, yeah, we do want to let it sit for a few minutes before we serve it up. Otherwise, it just is a bit of a sloppy mess. So it kind of firms up the pudding bit a little bit. And then we can just give it a little dusting with ice and sugar too. Uh-huh. Perfect and super easy winter dessert there for you. Looks good, doesn't it? Yeah. Super, super easy, that one. I love a pudding in winter. Like I said, there's a couple around. The caramel self-saucing pudding on the recipe community, that is probably the best one. There's a nice chocolate one on Cookie Dough as well. There's a few different pudding type, self-saucing pudding type variations around that I think you guys would love. I'll let that firm for a minute and then I'll get a spoonful out and then our dinner will be finished too. Try and move it over a little bit without burning myself. And about finished. It's just cooling, you know, they got that little tiny bit of seconds of cool down. All right, and we're done. So always open your aroma away from yourself so you're not giving yourself an extra hot facial. Remember that your lid of your aroma as upside down is perfect for sitting the hot contents on. And again, we would have obviously a lot more um, zoodles in here if we're cooking the whole lot, but I didn't need all of that. Just trying to make it we can see a little bit better. So let me just bring you across just a minute. There you go. That's a bit better. We've got our zucchini, our zoodles in there. And then that is our lemon chicken, lemon pepper chicken mixture in there. I'm trying to do it, trying to be coordinated enough to do it so you can see it all on screen, but I don't think I am. Extra sauce. I'm going to top it with that leftover parmesan mixture. And that is it. That is that lemon pepper chicken with the zoodles there. And obviously our lemon delicious pudding as well, which will let's see, another nice pudding. Oh, probably could have done with a little bit more cooking if I'm being honest there, but it's a nice pudding when you grab a bit of the sauce around the outside. Your lemon delicious pudding. So there you go. That is our done for tonight. So yeah, the lemon pepper chicken with zoodles, that's on Cookie Do. If you don't have a cutter, you might just have to have a play with your Cookie Do settings to bring it up because it is a cutter meal. But like I said, you can absolutely still do it without a cutter. And our lemon delicious pudding. So that's us covered for tonight. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope that you have enjoyed tonight. I hope that you found it useful. Thank you for sharing all of your different recipe ideas. I definitely am heading back through the chat box after we finish to add a few of those to my to try folder. But thank you for joining me. Like I said, I will send out an email probably tomorrow with all of the links, both the links to the recipes, a couple of extra tips, and the host reward catalogue so that you can reach out to your consultant if you are interested in hosting a demo. But hopefully I will see you again next Monday. I'll let you know in the next, probably a bit later in the week, what we'll be cooking next week. But thank you for joining me, and I will talk to you all soon. Thank you.